What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, and welcome back to another episode of the Premier League's Perspective. And because we're kind of very short for time this week, as game is coming thick and fast, we're going to merge the two videos, the Premier League Predictor Show and the PL's Perspective. So during the PL's Perspective, we'll be having a look at the predictions we made. And as you can see at the top of me now, there is a score bar, and those score bars. So I actually got the score line, how we're going to do the scoring a bit wrong on the last episode. I did say it's going to be 3 points for a win and 2 points for just the correct scoreline, but it didn't really make sense. So what we're going to go for is,
as soon as he saw the results, he changed
I actually messaged you before any of the results came through. So it's going to be 5 points for a correct scoreline and 1 point for a correct result, and then obviously 0 points for nothing correct. So we're going to go through the PL's Perspective. You're going to see the scores changing, and we're going to run through our results. And then we're going to make our predictions for this weekend as well. So we've got an action-packed episode for you this week. So let's get straight into it. And the first game we're going to be looking at is Palace against West Ham, which ended up 3-2. Sim, your prediction was 1-1. My prediction was 1-0. So that is 1-0 to Ben already early doors, as obviously West Ham won the game. But in terms of the game, how do you think it played out?
Yeah, I think West Ham more than deserved it. And actually 3-2 flattered Palace watching the game. They got that late goal, literally last kick of the game, to make it 3-2 to put a gloss on the scoreline. But they took the lead, Palace, through Zaha, out of a goal out of nothing. Great finish. But Souček, man, this guy really is.
I hate this guy so much. Not because he's scoring and playing well for West Ham, because every time I take him out my fantasy team, he does something. Every time I put him in, he does nothing.
He got me 15 points. I was a bit of class there by Souček. But no, look, it wasn't just Souček and it wasn't just the goals. They missed so many chances. I think Antonio hit the post like 3 times or something, and he missed a few other chances as well. It really could have been more than 3 for West Ham, so they really well worth the win, and that's another impressive victory for them. And the victories keep plugging away for West Ham, and then sitting pretty. Now it's fifth position now.
All right, yeah. I mean, they're above us, aren't they? Well, we got a game in hand, but still, West Ham fans going through the dizzying heights of being in the top 5 or top 4, is it now? Top 5.
Top 5. Liverpool won, didn't they?
Yeah. So anyway, that is that. And after the first game, it is 1-0 to me. 9 games to go. Now let's look at Newcastle versus Leeds, which finished 2-1 to Leeds. Sim, your prediction was 1-0 to Newcastle. And my prediction was 2-1 to Leeds. So absolutely spot on scoreline from me this time. The way this game panned out was a bit of a strange game, because I thought Leeds looked good in the opening exchanges, but I thought Newcastle were well deserved of a draw or even a win in this game.
Yeah, it was unfortunate actually, because especially in the second half, Newcastle really came into it, especially when Saint-Maximin came on. He was really looked up for it, didn't he? His dribbling ability, everything about him. So Newcastle definitely feel hard done by that they didn't get anything out of this game. But Leeds hung on for it, despite conceding loads of chances. They still attacked very well and a couple of really nice goals, and they won in the game. And it was a hard-fought victory. But I think Newcastle definitely will find some encouragement in this one moving forward. But it's another defeat, another 6th in a row, I think.
I mean. But out of those 6 defeats in a row, I think it's probably their best performance out of the lot.
Yeah, probably by far.
Yeah.
And I think having Saint-Maximin back will give them a lot of encouragement. He's a game changer for them, Saint-Maximin. But they're unlucky.
All right, 6-0. Any early words?
No, it's early days.
All right, let's get into the third fixture. Southampton against Arsenal. 3-1 to Arsenal. Sim, you went 2-2. I went 2-1 to Southampton. So both of us completely off the mark of this one.
I was closer than you.
You can say, still 0 points on the board, though.
Unfortunately.
Look, Arsenal were slightly impressive, would you say?
They were.
Southampton were woeful because of their fullbacks and what have you.
Well, yeah, you could see. I said before the game, their fullbacks are such a massive part of how they play, and that really bore out in the game because all 3 goals pretty much came from the flanks.
Yeah,
all 3 goals came from their fullbacks being out of position and Arsenal taking advantage. And fair play to them. It's one thing. A team having a weakness, but it's another thing for the team to exploit it. So you got to say fair play. Saka really is coming into his own at the moment, and look, the 3-1 I think flatters Arsenal a bit. It's probably like a 2-1 game, but I think they deserve the victory, no doubt about it. So you got to say fair play to them. But Southampton definitely had a few opportunities to add to their scoreline, and they, Walcott, he annoyed me. He pissed me off, Walcott. I felt like he was playing for Arsenal in that game. He was so bad, and he had so many opportunities to do something, and he flopped hard. So that annoyed me. But fair play to Arsenal, and I'm not liking it at all. Looking behind me,
3 points.
At least they're still behind us, but
only
not
3
liking
points.
It. I know, but still, it's better to be 3 points ahead than 3 points behind.
Anyway, let's move on. West Brom against Manchester City in a game that finished 5-0 to Man City. Sim, you went 3-0 to City. I went 4-0 to City. So that puts it at 7-1 to me.
I'm on the board.
You're on the board, finally. I was 1 goal away. You were 2 goals away. What did you make out of the game?
Yeah, man, they absolutely wiped. It was 4-0 at half time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They wiped the floor with them. Absolutely wiped the floor with them.
I was supposed to say, that was supposed to be my half-time result, not a full-time result.
I see. But Gundogan, he's turning into one of the best false nines you've ever seen.
He is really good, man.
Some finishes he's putting in, he's a seasoned striker. Mahrez as well, and with the creativity they have around their team, it's like they're not going to have any trouble to score goals at all.
This is without a striker as well.
That's what I'm saying, and you got to say Cancelo has really come into his own recently.
The 2 players I had in my team this week.
Oh,
I had Diaz as well.
You did well out of that then. But Cancelo has really become one of the top fullbacks in the league at the moment. So you've got to say, really impressive from Man City. Obviously, West Brom, is that a second 5-0 home defeat in a row? Because they lost to Leeds.
Yeah.
And lost to Arsenal 4-0.
I mean, I think they've got some ridiculous aggregate the last 4 home games or something like that. Well, conceded like 13, 14 goals.
Well, he's already lost 4-0 to Arsenal, 5-0 to Leeds, and now 5-0 to City. So it's not going. But they did get one draw.
The writing's on the wall for West Brom, it seems, though, at the moment.
Yeah, they're doing some activity in the window, so you never know. It could spur them on. But
Big Sam, to me, looks like he's lost it.
They look done. Yeah, they were complaining, weren't they, about that goal? I don't understand what he has to complain about with that goal, because with Cancelo's goal, a ball gets played through to Gundogan. All the West Brom players think he's offside, so they put their hand up. The referee, because they're instructed to, the linesman, doesn't put his flag up because they're instructed to let it play to see what VAR comes up. And then obviously it goes through to Cancelo, he scores, and then he puts his flag up saying, okay, it was offside. And then they check it VAR, he was onside, and it was given a goal. And Allardyce is complaining, always play to the whistle, rubbish, it's nonsense, all players will always stop in that situation. But I'm thinking, he was onside. If your players would have stopped.
Does he not know the VAR rules? Because these rules came in when VAR came in.
But it's irrelevant. Your players have made a mistake. If the guy's onside, right? You've made a mistake. So I don't understand what he's got to complain about. If they were to stop, that's just an error. So it's ridiculous.
Agreed. Let's move on to Burnley against Aston Villa in a game which finished 3-2 to Burnley on the night. Sim, you went 1-1. I went 0-0. I felt Burnley were pretty lucky in this game.
Very lucky. Very lucky. It should have been Villa were all over them. And in fact, not only that, it was only Villa, even when they scored their 2 goals, it was really against the run of play. Yeah. And they got their equaliser again as well against run of play. Burnley, pretty much all 3 of their goals were against run of play. So Grealish will probably feel really aggrieved because he was top notch.
What a player, man! Seriously, every time I watch him play, I'm just like, God's sake, man!
Makes me angry actually. And it was such a shame that we haven't got Grealish in our team, because he's one of the best in the league at the moment. It really is, and he was absolutely sensational against Burnley. Like, they couldn't handle him, and he was just everywhere. He got his goal as well, really nice finish, and you thought they were just going to go on and win. And they paid for missing chances, because they missed a lot of chances, and then at the end, Burnley get one back with McNeil, who's had a cross across the face of goal, go straight in, and then a header from Wood, and that's it. They had no answer to it, and Burnley will feel lucky, Villa will feel hard done by, but that's the Premier League, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, so still 7-1 to me as we go on to the second half of the fixtures. Chelsea against Wolves, 0-0. Thomas Tuchel's first game. Sim, you went 2-1 to Wolves. I went 2-1 to Chelsea. I'm going to take a win on this because Chelsea made the most amount of passes in Premier League history.
Chelsea didn't win. They won the passes, so surely according to the Chelsea Twitter account, that's a win, isn't it?
Something like 800 passes or something stupid.
They tweeted out a video of them having like 20 passes that leads to like a shot off target from 30 yards. I don't they like, oh, look at
They
this,
were trolling themselves.
like philosophy or something. I'm like, what are you on about? Just because you can pass it to another player of the same team doesn't mean it's good. Like, just chill out. But
to be honest, I would like a bit of that at Spurs, to be honest.
I guess I wouldn't mind a bit too much passing, but Chelsea. I'm sure they're going to improve under Tuchel for going forward. But obviously, it's his first game. They struggled. They did struggle to break down Wolves. I knew they were going to struggle because Wolves are solid defensively, and my gut feeling was a draw. But I went with my heart, and I said Wolves win. But
in hindsight, 0-0 was probably the most obvious result.
Yeah, I should have guessed 0-0. But fair play to Wolves. Good result, getting the draw. Tuchel's got his work cut out for him. But, he's still got a half a season to play with, doesn't he? So
I loved it. When the lineups were announced for Chelsea, the Chelsea fans were in absolute state. They were like, why is Reece James not playing? Why is Mason Mount not playing?
Oh, no, they hate Mason Mount, I thought.
No, they were actually... I saw so many on Twitter, and I was listening to Talk Sport at the time. So many were calling up saying, these guys have been our best players, and Tuchel out already. Like, it was mad.
He dropped Lampard's pet at the first game.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, so 7-1 still as we go into Brighton against Fulham, which finished 0-0. Sim, you predicted 1-1, so you get a point on the board. I predicted 1-0 to Fulham, so I don't get anything. So
I predicted 0-0.
7-2 as it goes on. Brighton-Fulham, I didn't see this game, so you got any comments on it?
Yeah, Brighton were far the better team. Brighton, they created all the chances. If it wasn't for Areola having a really good game, they would have been on. Yeah, they would have been on the end of a loss. So they got Areola to thank. Fulham nearly nicked it right at the end when Loftus-Cheek had a shot cleared off the line in the last kick of the game. So they got away with that one. But Brighton were really, really again.
So it could have been 1-0 to Fulham.
Yeah, but it's the story of Brighton's season, isn't it? Creating loads of chances and being really prolific.
Can't finish their dinners.
Yeah, really can't. So it's the same story again for Brighton. But 0-0. I think Brighton probably just deserved it, shaded it. But they, when you can't finish chances, that's what you get.
Yeah, as we know too, right, don't we, Sim?
Mm-hmm.
Last
we do.
three games now. Everton against Leicester, which finished 1-1. Sim, you went 2-2, so you get a point on the board. But, I predicted 1-1, so another correct scoreline. Come on, and it is 12-3 to me going into the last three games. But Everton-Leicester... Leicester have a real problem of winning games without Jamie Vardy, don't they?
They should have won this one, actually, because they actually had made all the running. They were the one who actually had all the chances, and they'll feel really hard done by. They didn't
probably
get
would have
the
done if Vardy was playing to finish off the chance.
Yeah, for sure. I know obviously James got the early goal with a really, really good finish on his right foot on the edge of the box.
From Pickford.
And that's it. Pickford with the howler. That cost them the points. But it was all Leicester, really. They had all the chances, especially in the second half. And they're going to feel like they missed opportunity not taking that victory. But the draw was good for us in terms of the league table. But Everton and Leicester, Leicester will definitely feel like... Well, I guess both teams will feel hard done by because Pickford mistake and Leicester missed all the chances.
Yeah, exactly. I think... Yeah, I mean, as the game went, I thought Leicester were the better side, but Everton were the team closest to winning the game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Man United against Sheffield United. Now, I loved watching this game. It finished obviously 2-1 to Sheffield United. You went 3-0 to Man United. I went 4-0 to Man United.
Very wrong.
We were talking about pretty much the form team in the Premier League in Manchester United coming up against the out of form team in the Premier League. And I thought Man United were terrible.
You know what? That scoreline doesn't flatter them. This wasn't even a smash and grab.
Yeah.
They deserved the win. They played well, Sheffield United.
Yeah, I mean...
They played well.
They don't really create that many chances, though.
No, but they didn't concede any chances either. And what they did create, I thought they created more situations than United in terms of really trying to hurt United. In terms of the goals, United feel like the first one should have been ruled out, and they also feel like they should have had a goal in the...
you got to make the same
equaliser.
Decision probably for both goals.
I thought it should have been 1-1. Yeah, I thought both goals should have been allowed.
You either allow both or you disallow both, one or the other. You can't have inconsistencies here.
I can understand why they're aggrieved about that because I thought they definitely got hard done by. However, they did get it back to 1-1, so they got back to the position they were looking for at 1-1, and then they wasted it because once they got back to 1-1, it could that goal that Sheffield United scored is probably the worst defending of the season of any team. I really believe that. It was
passengers
horrendous.
There. It was passengers. People walking around. I mean, why did Tuanzebe even play? I don't get that.
I think Bayer might have been injured or something.
Yeah, but Lindelof was on the bench.
don't know.
Makes no sense.
I know, but it wasn't. I wouldn't. Tuanzebe was at least at fault. Was the least player at fault for that one. I really thought that.
Wasn't he at fault for the first goal?
No,
was he not?
De Gea.
Maybe he made another mistake at some point during the
He
game.
probably did. But that goal, they were just standing around doing nothing. They were just like, wait, like, yeah, it was like arrogant. It was like, yeah, you're not going to do anything. We're just not going to close you down and wait for you to give us the ball. And then that guy Burke had 2 shots in exactly the same position, and they didn't pick him up either time. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Sheffield United for getting points on the board. Do you think we'll see a bit of a resurgence from them now? Will it give them a bit of confidence?
It might do. I mean, they might get put back down to earth.
Or they got
this
City,
week.
yeah.
So it'll be difficult for them. But yeah, I think they'll definitely give them confidence. And I know it's 10 points from the relegation at the moment, but you never know. And if they can go on a run, they can still pull it back.
All right, and finally it was Spurs against Liverpool. Everyone knows the scoreline, 3-1. We both went 2-0 for Spurs, egg on our face, and none of us get the points there. But at the end of the first week of the predictors...
Well, you'd say, first of all, on that Spurs one, we did make that prediction with Reguilon fit, and that's what we thought. We thought Spurs were going to be 100%, so... context.
Context is key. So at the end of the first week, Sim, you're on a big fat 3 points, while I'm on a massively fat 12 points. But a long way to go, isn't there? So let's see. We're going to do our next predictions for the next round right now. So let's go through the games and let's see what we're going to pick. First game, Everton against Newcastle. What have you gone for? We've all written down our predictions here, by the way, so that we can't influence each other's decisions.
I've gone Everton 3, Newcastle 1.
I've gone Everton 2, Newcastle 0.
I think Newcastle showed enough in that last game to make me think they can get a goal on this one and they can actually give it a go. But I just think Everton, they have too much quality going forward. And I think Newcastle, they need to start getting points on the board, so they might come out a bit. But I think Everton should have enough in this one.
Yeah,
James as well coming into form.
Yeah, I've gone 2-0, so I think Everton have looked so good the last couple of weeks.
Sheet?
Yeah, I've gone for a clean sheet. I think Newcastle, they look toothless going forward. Apart from in the second half against Leeds, yeah, they look good, but Leeds' defence is awful.
Yeah, that's also true.
It's really bad. So I can't see Newcastle scoring in this one unless Jordan Pickford makes another howler.
Never know.
But I'm going 2-0 Everton.
All right.
Next one, Palace against Wolves. I've gone for a stalemate in this one. I've gone for 1-1.
Me too.
You've gone for 1-1 as well?
I have gone for 1-1.
So, yeah, I think that Palace, they're a good home side. Wolves are a solid side. So I think that they're not going to be many goals in this. I can see it being a stalemate.
Yeah, I think Palace are going to shore up the defence a bit after getting absolutely annihilated by West Ham. Wolves, maybe Willian Jose could get his first start, but I still think they're still a bit... porous up front, but they have a solid defence. I can see just a draw in this one, 1-1.
Man City against Sheffield United. What have you gone
4-0.
for? 4-0. Oh, same.
Also, 4-0. City are just on a roller coaster at the moment. Not roller coaster, on a if the roller is like stealth, just going straight to the top. But look, I'm sure they're going to get those. I know we underestimated Sheffield United against Man United, but City are on a different level at the moment.
Yeah, they are. And I can just see Gundogan getting another couple goals and just City just completely terrorising them, I think. I know Sheffield United probably get a bit of confidence from beating Man United, but this is a different kettle of fish. Let's move on. West Brom against Fulham. I've gone for a stalemate. I've gone for 0-0.
Okay, well, mine's a bit different. It's 1-1.
1-1.
1-1.
I mean, our predictions are very similar, aren't
apparently,
they?
Well, we don't influence each other. We're very similar predictions. But, yeah, look, West Brom are going to have to do something to get a goal. They have a feeling that they're going to have to do something, and because they can't score for Toffee at the moment. But I'm sure they're going to see this game against Fulham as an opportunity to come out a bit. Fulham haven't lost many games to the last 6. I'm going to go 1-1.
I'm going to go 1-0. I think it's going to be a nervy game, bottom of the table clash. It's a big game for both teams. So I think that it's going to be cagey, and I just think it will end up going 0-0. Arsenal against Manchester United.
I've gone for a Desmond.
Yeah. 2-2.
Yeah.
I've gone for 3-1 to Man United.
3-1 United?
Yeah.
I hope you're right.
The reason I've gone 3-1 United is United are just different team away from home as they are from home. They always seem to go 1-0 down, pull it back, get the result away from home, that is, rather than at home. So I think they'll go to the Emirates looking for revenge as well after they've come up to Old Trafford and took that 1-0 win. So I'm going 3-1.
Yeah, I think 2-2 Arsenal in very good form at the moment. They seem like they're going to create chances with Saka and Smith Rowe and maybe Odegaard coming in, and Lacazette's also in good form. And obviously with Aubameyang still being out, but they're clearly playing for him. I feel that the whole squad's around him, so they're fighting for him. And if Tierney can come back in the side as well, I think they've got a good chance of nicking a result. I don't think they'll win. I think United are going to want a reaction, obviously, to that result against Sheffield United. And I think Arsenal aren't the kind of side to kind of sit back and soak up pressure too much. They're going to want to go for goals early doors. So I think there's going to be goals in this. So I go 2-2.
All right, Southampton against Villa. I have gone for a stalemate in this one.
Stalemate?
Yeah, I've gone for 2-2.
Oh, yeah, I'm Southampton 2, Villa 3.
Ooh, I was very close to picking that,
Really?
I was so close, but I thought, you know what? I think this might be a draw.
I think 3-2. I think Bertrand's going to be back. So they're going to have one of the fullbacks back. It might shore up Southampton a bit.
There'll be goals in this, though.
There'll definitely be goals in this. And I think Villa are going to want to react to how they threw the game away against Burnley. They're not going to see that happen again. Southampton are not a side against any team to sit back at all. So that Villa know they're going to have a lot of space to play with. Grealish, I reckon, is going to run riot. But Southampton as well, with Ings and Shea Adams, who I've been impressed with of late, can always get a goal. So I'm going to go 3-2.
All right. Now the Sunday games. Chelsea at home to Burnley.
I went for 1-0 Chelsea.
So did I.
We also went,
I've already gone 1-0 Chelsea. I mean, the way that Chelsea played in Tuchel's first game, I mean, great. They were passing it, but they didn't create toffee. They literally didn't create anything. So I think they will nick this one because they're coming up against a Burnley side playing away from home. I think Chelsea will nick it, but it'll be frustrating for them. Yeah,
I agree with you. I think it's going to be one of those where they might nick it near the end. It's going to be I can't see this being a very exciting game. It'll be a lot of Chelsea passes, a lot of Burnley defending. Could very easily be 0-0, but I reckon just a bit of luck could
also very early be 1-0 Burnley as well.
Could be, but I feel like I think Chelsea will nick it.
Yeah, me too. Leicester at home to Leeds. I am going for 2-0 to Leicester.
Me too. I also said 2-0 Leicester.
Yeah, I'm not liking the way Leeds are playing at the moment. I think they've really gone off the boil since the turn of the year. Maybe it's been since our game with them or since their cup game, which they got embarrassed in. They just haven't looked good. Defensively, they're all over the place. Going forward, they're not really hitting the heights that they were last season. I don't fear for them for dropping that far down the table, but I think this game will just be a bit too much for them, and Leicester are looking really solid.
Yeah, I agree with you. Leicester always looking solid, and despite no Vardy, they have enough up front to hurt Leeds, who are very, very poor defensively. So I reckon I can easily see a couple of goals in this for Leicester, and Leeds always going to find it hard to break Leicester down. So 2-0.
West Ham, Liverpool.
1-1. You went 1-0 as well. Oh my god!
What the hell is going on?
We think too similarly, apparently.
I've gone 1-1. Yeah, I think West Ham are on good form. Liverpool, apart from their game against us, they're not on great form. Maybe their game against us will give them confidence to march on, but I got a sneaky feeling West Ham can nick something out of this.
I think West Ham will make it more difficult for them than we did.
Probably.
That's what I think. So
probably.
I think with Souček and Antonio, physical players, they're going to be tough to deal with from set pieces and stuff. And I think Liverpool can have renewed confidence. I can see them coming out the blocks and maybe even going 1-0 up. I reckon West Ham could come back, and I'm going to go 1-1.
All right, and last but not least, Brighton against Tottenham. I am going for 1-0 to Spurs.
1-0.
Yeah, what are you going
3-1.
for? 3-1.
3-1.
So my reasoning behind the 1-0 is that I think that Mourinho is going to tighten it up now, just because we've seen it before. After that West Ham game when we drew 3-3, when we were leaking goals, he completely tightened it up, and we went on a long streak of not conceding a goal and like winning by the odd goal here and there. And I just got a sneaky feeling that we're going to go through that kind of patch now where Mourinho's really going to tighten it up, and we're going to try and nick it. Well, not try and nick it by the odd goal, but I think we'll nick it by the odd goal.
I just think Brighton are very open. We know how they like to play. They like to play football. They like to leave a lot of space. If you can get possession of the ball, they're gonna come to you. They're gonna press you, and I feel like there's gonna be a lot of space for us. And if we can find a solution, it doesn't matter if we play Bale up front or Son up front or Vinicius. I think we have enough striking power to really hurt Brighton going the other way. I think there could be a few goals in there for us, but I can see us conceding one, so I'm going to go us 5-3-1.
All right, so let us know your predictions in the comment section below. Let us know if you have any thoughts of any of the games that just happened over the past week. Those are our predictions. Check out on early next week when we bring you another PL Perspective. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.